Really quickly, 2 stories about Jennifer Lopez being an awful human being. So number 1, when she has drivers, the number 1 rule she has for them is they can't look at her, they can't talk to her, and her luggage is never allowed to touch the ground. If any of those things happen, she will go out of her way to make sure you get fired. Even if you have to look in the rear view mirror while you're driving, she will call that you trying to look at her and proceed to berate you. And I know this because my dad worked for that driving company, and he refused to drive her whenever she came in town because of how awful she treated the drivers. Second story, she was with Ben, I believe at MGM or whichever casino, and Ben's a great tipper and he respects service workers. And so he tipped a lot of people a lot of money that night. Jennifer goes around to each of those people and takes back the tip and gives them maybe $5-10, maybe. She is an awful person.
Jennifer Lopez has been swimming in controversy this year, and the heat just keeps rising. It feels like every week there's a new story dropping about her personal life, her marriage, and even the way she runs her empire. Insiders have been spilling tea about how she allegedly treated her now ex-husband, Ben Affleck, with whispers of constant tension behind closed doors. On top of that, her tour crew has been painting a picture of J.Lo as a boss who demanded the impossible. Late nights, high pressure, and no excuses. People who've worked with her claim she kept everyone on edge, chasing perfection while she carried herself like the ultimate diva. Now here's what makes all of this even wilder. J.Lo and Ben weren't some casual couple. Their love story had been the talk of Hollywood for decades. They were the original Bennifer back in the early 2000s, broke up, lived completely separate lives, and then shocked the world when they rekindled the flame 2 years ago. Fans were obsessed. The reunion was sold as a fairy tale ending, 2 stars who found their way back to each other after 20 years apart. They had that Vegas wedding moment, then a lavish second ceremony, all the glitz and glamour you'd expect from a Hollywood power duo. Everyone thought this was the happy ending. But now, it's turned into one of the messiest celebrity splits in recent memory.
Comfortable with me doing all of this. But he loves me, he knows I'm an artist, and he's gonna support me in every way he can because he knows he can't stop me from making the music I made and writing the words that I wrote. He can't, and that's gonna happen, and he doesn't want to stop me. He wants to do that, but that doesn't mean he's, kind of comfortable being the muse and being
Jen was really inspired by this experience, which is how artists do their work. They get inspired, their personal life, it moves you. I know as a writer, a director, I certainly do the same things. But things that are private, I had always felt, are sacred and special because, in part, they're private. So this was something of an adjustment for me.
She still got her beauty, her booty, and her bank account, so bye boy to him. Bobby, this isn't about me and you. Bobby, take that out.
No, this is what...
That is not part of the script.
For Jennifer, 2024 was a nightmare in the romance department. The rumors started bubbling early in the year. First came the suspicious cancellation of her big tour, something that had fans scratching their heads. People wondered, was it about ticket sales or was something personal going on? Then paparazzi caught real estate agents scoping out their Beverly Hills mansion. That's when fans really started whispering, wait a minute, are they breaking up? All the red flags were there, but nobody wanted to believe it. Then came the hammer drop. On Tuesday, August 20th in Los Angeles, Jennifer Lopez officially filed for divorce at County Superior Court. It wasn't just rumors anymore, it was fact. Court documents listed their official separation date as April 26th, which means the relationship had actually crumbled months before the world even knew. While fans were still posting throwback videos of the couple looking in love, the reality was that the marriage was already finished behind the scenes. And here's where the scandal explodes: the money situation. Okay, Magazine dropped a bomb when they reported that J.Lo and Ben didn't even lock down a prenup when they tied the knot in Las Vegas. That's right, 2 of the biggest names in entertainment with multi-million-dollar careers and properties all over the place didn't bother to separate their assets legally. The alleged reason? Jennifer's feelings for Ben were so intense, so unconditional that she didn't care about protecting her wealth. One insider claimed she said she trusted him completely and thought the love was forever. But here's the harsh reality: love stories don't always last, and without that prenup, this split could get very expensive. Ben Affleck isn't exactly broke. He's got Batman checks, directing credits, and his own Hollywood fortune. But J.Lo has built an empire off music, acting, beauty brands, and endless endorsement deals, without a legal agreement untangling all that could turn into a financial circus. And you already know the lawyers are going to have a field day. So now fans are left asking, was J.Lo blinded by her emotions, or did she really think Ben was the forever type? Either way, this divorce isn't just about heartbreak. It could end up being one of the most shocking money moves in Hollywood history. Jennifer never thought a prenup was necessary. She was all in on love, no questions asked. But this week, the truth came crashing down when TMZ confirmed what fans had only been whispering about. There really was no prenup in place. That's right, two megastars, both with fortunes worth hundreds of millions, walked into marriage with nothing protecting their empires. In Hollywood, that's a dangerous gamble. And for J.Lo, the fallout could have been terrifying. Now here's where things get interesting. Normally, in cases without a prenup, assets get split 50-50, straight down the middle. But insiders are saying that's not what's happening here. Reports claim that the settlement Jennifer and Ben reached works like a shadow prenup, carefully dividing everything so J.Lo doesn't end up losing half her empire. That's huge because, let's be real, Jennifer's net worth dwarfs Ben's by a long shot. She's built an empire off her music, acting, beauty lines, and tours, while Ben's money, though still big Hollywood numbers, can't really compete with J.Lo's powerhouse fortune. But here's the part that really stings. People close to the situation claim Jennifer was the one footing most of the bills in the marriage. That's right, while fans were watching them stroll red carpets and play the part of a glamorous power couple, behind the scenes, J.Lo was allegedly the one swiping her card again and again. An insider spilled that Jennifer picked up the majority of their marital expenses, and the list is wild. Private jets, luxury hotels, designer clothes, fancy meals, endless coffee runs, even gas money. All those everyday little luxuries, they weren't coming out of Ben's pocket, at least according to the whispers. And the big ticket purchases, that jaw-dropping $60 million mansion they bought together, sources say J.Lo carried most of that load too. One insider even said she's adding up all those private jet bills. She puts it all on her plastic. The hotels and meals, clothes, coffee runs, gas. The high cost of living was done on her dime. Imagine tallying that up. Millions flying out of her bank account just to keep the lifestyle running smooth. Now people close to Jennifer say she feels drained, like she gave and gave while Ben sat back and took advantage of her financial security. The whispers claim she's been venting privately, saying Ben took so much money out of her, way more than he ever contributed. At least that's the story from her side. Whether it's totally true or not, the perception is out there, and it's painting Ben in a very unflattering light. So here we are, no prenup, no traditional 50-50 split, and J.Lo left carrying the weight of a marriage that cost her millions. The glamorous fairy tale turned into a financial nightmare, and now everyone's wondering if Ben walked away with more than just memories. And all I can say is, yikes, if you thought the money drama was messy, wait until you hear about Jennifer's jaw-dropping demands. Her reputation for being demanding isn't just a rumor, it's practically a lifestyle. Over the years, insiders have leaked stories about her must-have list, and honestly, it's nothing short of outrageous. People say she's obsessed, and I mean obsessed, with the color white. Not just a preference, but a full-on requirement. Any dressing room she walks into, it has to be completely redecorated from top to bottom, like stepping into some kind of Snow White fantasy world. And no, this is not an exaggeration. It's written right there in the leaked list of her demands. The details are almost comical, but also kind of shocking. J.Lo insists that everything in her space has to be white. White candles, white tables, white couches, white drapes, white tablecloths, and even white flowers. She doesn't just want a vibe, she wants a full transformation. Imagine the crew scrambling to strip down and redecorate a dressing room just to make it match her obsession before she even walks through the door. And that's not all. She reportedly requires a massive number of candles, but not just any candles. They must be either lime blossom or Joe Malone's grapefruit scent. If it's not one of those, it's not happening. That demand has apparently followed her throughout her entire career, making it one of her longest-standing diva rules. But it doesn't stop at dressing rooms. When J.Lo started her Las Vegas residency back in January 2016, the numbers were insane. She was making millions and millions of dollars, stacking cash like never before. But according to insiders, the money wasn't enough to keep her happy. She came with a long checklist of extras she wouldn't perform without, and these requests were over the top even by Vegas standards. First, she allegedly demanded not one, not two, but 3 penthouse suites, all lined up next to each other. Who even needs 3 penthouses? Well, Jennifer did. And to top it off, she wanted one of those suites transformed into a private playground for her kids. Slides, toys, the whole deal. It was basically like having a luxury daycare inside her hotel. But she didn't stop there. J.Lo wanted personal laundry services on hand at all times just for her. Every single item she wore had to be cared for with precision, no exceptions. And here's the kicker. Each suite needed its own dedicated butler ready to serve her every need 24/7. And yes, the butlers had to wear all white too, because apparently the whiteout fantasy extended to her staff as well. Think about that for a second. 3 penthouses, a playground, personal laundry teams, multiple butlers in color-coordinated outfits, and hundreds of white candles burning at once. That's not just luxury. That's next-level diva behavior. People who've seen the list say it was so extreme, some wondered if it was a parody at first. But nope, this is how J.Lo rolled, and everyone had to play along if they wanted her show to go on. On top of all the over-the-top demands, Jennifer also reportedly made every single member of the housekeeping staff sign strict NDAs before working around her. That's right, maids, cleaners, assistants. No one was allowed near her space without promising silence. If you were folding a towel, cleaning a glass, or even restocking her white candles, you had to swear legally that you wouldn't talk about anything you saw or heard. Insiders said it created a super intense environment, like people were walking on eggshells, afraid that even the smallest slip-up could land them in court. But the request didn't end there. One of the strangest things she allegedly demanded was brand new toilets for the backstage area wherever she performed. Think about that. Entire bathrooms replaced just because J.Lo didn't want to sit where someone else had sat before. Everything had to be untouched, sparkling and fresh, with her signature all-white dressing room waiting nearby. The image of entire crews scrambling to install new toilets just to keep her satisfied, that's diva behavior on a whole other level. And if you thought that was wild, wait until you hear about one of the biggest embarrassments of her career, a commercial that turned into a total PR disaster. Back in 2011, Jennifer teamed up with Fiat for an ad that was supposed to highlight her connection to her roots in the Bronx. In the commercial, she's seen cruising in a Fiat 500 Cabrio, driving through Manhattan and then rolling into the Bronx, the neighborhood where she grew up. The whole thing was framed as J.Lo reconnecting with her old stomping grounds, showing love to her hometown. On paper, it sounded like a great idea. But here's the scandal. Reports later revealed that Jennifer never actually went to the Bronx to film that commercial. Instead, the ad used a stand-in, a body double, to do the driving and appear in those neighborhood shots. Jennifer filmed her close-ups elsewhere, and editing made it look like she was there. Fans felt duped. The entire vibe of the ad was supposed to be about authenticity, but in reality, she didn't even bother to show up. And once people found out, the backlash was brutal. Critics slammed the ad for being fake and misleading. Viewers started rewatching it with this new information, and many said it was painfully obvious that it wasn't really her behind the wheel in those Bronx scenes. The whole point of using Jennifer was to sell that genuine connection to her roots, but when it turned out she hadn't set foot there for the shoot, it made the campaign look cheap and embarrassing. Fans and critics alike started asking if she couldn't even be bothered to show up to her own hometown for a commercial. What does that say about her connection to the Bronx at all? Some even argued Fiat should have just picked another celebrity who would actually commit to filming on set. The whole situation painted J.Lo as out of touch too busy or too pampered to do the very thing the ad was built around. And in the world of branding, that's a bad, bad look.